Hi everyone, my name is Emily Vang, and this is my Where I'm From poetry presentation. The title of my poem is To Be Hmong is to Be Free. My story begins with my grandparents, in a house where the smell of banana leaves and patter of rain are sliced by the stench of fire and air-splitting bombs, creating ash-littered fields and craters wider than my arms can reach. My story continues with my parents, in a Sacramento where the smell of McDonald's and motors of buses are mashed together with the scent of our boiled chicken and chants of our shamans, carving out our own home in a country that never guaranteed our survival. My story continues with myself, in a Fresno where the smell of blossoms and conversations of students are ringing as I run through my to-do list. Attend lab meeting, attend HMSA meeting, finish ASAM quiz, coalescing my American and Hmong identities into one beautiful mosaic of a better tomorrow. And yet, this beautiful tomorrow is being attacked by the same government that enlisted 8-year-old Hmong boys to fight in their conquest for power and control. The same government that is the reason for our migration is now deeming us illegal migrants. They do not care that my feet were planted in American soil, nor do they care about my ancestors' Laos before it was torn away with war. I am retelling the story 50 years later, and nothing has changed. We are still seen as the tribal, the uncivilized, the subhuman. We are still being displaced, made foreign to our own homes, and labeled as outsiders. But we are still Hmong, and we will always fight to be free. And then I also included some photos that I felt really resonated with this piece. I have the photo of the arrest of the grandpa in Minnesota. I have some photos of what life was like in Laos. There's the boiled chicken right there. I also included the Hmong story quotes in this. And here are photos of the Hmong soldiers that were enlisted. This photo in particular is very sad because it shows a very young boy being enlisted. And then again, it's just another photo of a Hmong woman back in Laos. So this is a poem that begins with my chrono system, which is mainly dictated by the events of the Secret War. This was a huge historical event that forced thousands of Hmong people to become refugees in the USA. It also displaced a lot of the other ethnic groups that were involved in the Secret War and Vietnam War, of course, including the Vietnamese. Um, because of this, Hmong people became refugees in the USA, with my grandparents and parents included. And this lays a huge foundation for who I am today and my own personal, educational, and professional journey. Um, then I move on to the macro system in the second stanza. That's where I'm telling my parents' stories. I try to illustrate what life was like living in poverty for my parents and for myself, with the McDonald's and the motors of buses. But I also try to include some of our cultural heritage by talking about the chants of our shamans and our boiled chicken to illustrate how these were some of the components that we kept close in order to make America feel more like a home to us. Afterwards, I briefly touched on the microsystem again by talking about the religious context of our experiences in America through the shaman. Afterwards, I further explored this microsystem through my own experiences in college. I tried to illustrate that by just giving a short snippet of my to-do list. Now, as a Hmong American, I worry about things like lab meetings, the HMSA or Hmongs in Association meeting, and then also, of course, Asian American Studies classes. And this is to kind of distinguish how far my own people have come, starting with my grandparents' story and now my own story in higher education today. And then at the end, I once again tried to connect it back to my own chrono system to illustrate how once more history is repeating itself, where the US government is denying human rights to the Hmong people and questioning our own words as human. And again, this is a huge historical event that has not only affected Hmong people, but other ethnic minorities as well.